All right, this is our next episode of True Wrestling Fan Discussion. This video is going to be about Triple H's top 10 matches. I'm your host, Mike.
I'm Frank, man. Let's get into this because everybody knows, and I get a lot of heat for this from a lot of people that Triple H was one of my favorites during the Attitude Era going on. Everybody was like, "Oh, Triple H buried people. He's an ass." Yeah, who didn't in this industry? I mean, come on.
Yeah,
But the
the,
guy, you
the
got to think about it.
there was a
They,
difference though with Triple H. I don't want to get
well,
bogged down
because
on
he
this.
married Stephanie.
Yeah, so he had more influence than the normal wrestler would have had. So,
Granted, but
but
could he pull off a WrestleMania main event despite being married to Stephanie? He could have sucked in the ring, still married
yeah,
Stephanie,
yeah, yeah. No, I'm
but
not
couldn't
saying
pull off a main event.
I'm not. We're not talking about one match or a main event. We're talking about just I don't want to get bogged down on this. Let's just get to the list.
Let's just put it like this: a 30-year career. It was very hard to come up with a top 10 because a lot of matches didn't make the cut that I wanted to put in there. I did have three honorable mentions that I wanted to go through first, and then we'll hit the top 10. Honorable mention one, and this was in the Hogan top 10. It was Triple H versus Hulk Hogan, Backlash 2002. This was a favorite of mine because it was my childhood hero, Hulk Hogan, versus my current wrestler that I really like, Triple H. First time they ever had this match. This came out of the blue after WrestleMania. I mean, but then again, you got to think, oh, it's Hogan. You know you're going to get a title shot. But the match did not disappoint. Triple H did, in fact, lose this match to Hogan thanks to The Undertaker. But it was still a great match. And unfortunately, we did get to see again another a return bout on SmackDown with these two, but it wasn't the same. Another one, honorable mention, and this was hard not to put in the top 10. This was a Royal Rumble 2004, the last man standing match against Shawn Michaels,
Mhm.
where the man they've had so many knockdown, drag out affairs, and this did not disappoint. Unfortunately, it ended in a draw because neither one of them could get up at the 10 count. But after a 30-40 minute fight of what these guys put each other through, I don't blame them. But I mean, this was a really good
It was a good
match,
match.
culminating their feud. Which would go on again to WrestleMania.
Yeah, it went on for a while.
It
Yeah.
started when Shawn came back. Then it kind of they went away from it, and
Well,
then to come
they didn't
2003,
they
then
didn't really
they
even they didn't really go away from it. What happened was Sean left for a little while. Remember, Sean didn't wrestle after SummerSlam until Survivor
no.
Series.
I mean in
Yeah.
2003 when they diverted to now he's
Oh
feuding
yeah,
with
yeah, yeah. Oh
Jericho,
yeah, 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 yeah. You're right.
and
Yeah.
then he kind of Kevin Nash comes back, so now he's
Oh,
kind of back.
that
Yeah, I
was
know.
nice.
Now he's kind of going up against Triple H again, but then he sort of started getting into Wrestling Evolution, and then back to the constant fights with Triple H. And the last honorable mention, WrestleMania 17 versus The Undertaker. This match was probably the second best match on the card,
Right.
next to the main event. I mean, these guys, it was a regular one-on-one match, but believe me, they turned it into a street fight going all over the Astrodome. I mean, this
Yeah.
match was just amazing.
The thing was that at least they were both, they were in their primes. They were much younger. Because then later on they have those two back-to-back matches, which I didn't really care
WrestleMania,
for. And then
yes.
they kind of pretend that this match never even happened. Like
No, and
they
the other
just
thing the funny thing about this match was as the WrestleMania card is evolving, as it's getting closer, neither one of these guys had a match
right,
on
right.
the card,
It
and it
was
was
just
like I think 3 weeks prior or 2 weeks prior.
they're like, wait a
It's like
minute.
all of a sudden, like, oh wait, you guys don't have a match. Oh shit,
Yeah,
start a feud, believe me, they pulled it out
yeah.
because as I'm watching this, Monday Night Raw each week, I'm like, when is Taker going to get his opponent?
Hmm.
Because like they're focusing on Rock and Austin. They announced that what was it, Angle and Benoit, the hardcore match. Eddie Guerrero even had a match, and I'm like,
But it was a lot.
why aren't these two guys? And then all of a sudden, here we go. Triple H and his ego, and then Taker comes out with I'm undefeated, and here we go. The two WrestleMania matches you're referring to, that pretty much was just Triple H pissed off at Taker for taking out his boy, and so he's going to try to avenge him.
Yeah, I
But
know.
the end of an era match, you never know. That might be in the top
Oh
10.
Jesus Christ.
You
All right.
never know. All right, here we go. Let's kick it off with Triple H Number 10, SummerSlam 1998, August 30th,
This
1998,
was
the
yeah.
ladder match against The Rock for
This
the
was really
Intercontinental title.
this was really good. I really enjoyed this match. I was a Rock fan at the time, but I still thought that it was a good match. Unfortunately, I think this is where Triple H gets hurt.
Yes, he busted his knee. He had to forfeit the title
Yeah.
after debating and holding off for a couple of weeks. They finally took the title away
Right,
from
right,
him,
right.
which is unfortunate because I mean you fought a 30-minute match on the ladder with this guy. You come away the Intercontinental
Yeah, it's
Champion.
like a shame. It's a
Yeah,
shame. Yeah,
it is, but it was still a great match between the two of them. And so,
great
I
feud
mean, it
too.
wouldn't be the last time Triple H would be the IC champion
Yeah.
either.
Or
So,
they would feud.
oh, forget it.
Uh,
You
yeah.
knew watching this is like this is not going to be the
Mhm.
last time. At number 9, and believe it or not, it was a little hard to put this in there only because the way Triple H feels about this guy. However, their WrestleMania match together did not have much of an impact as this one did. And I'm talking about Chris Jericho at Judgment Day 2002, the Hell in a Cell match. This one was way better than the WrestleMania main event by far.
Yeah,
And
the
uh,
thing about that WrestleMania main event is that Hogan and Rock sucked the life out of the building,
exactly,
and
we've
so
we've we've talked about that
yeah,
a lot
yeah,
of times that should have been the main event.
that was the problem
Plus,
with that.
Triple H didn't really see Jericho on his level, as we've heard before.
Didn't
You
yeah,
know, remember
he didn't care
remember
for
in
him.
2000 Jericho won the title, but then it was
All right,
they
he was
they
supposed to be,
deleted it.
and remember, he was supposed to be in the WrestleMania main event in 2000,
He was
and
on the cover, yes.
supposedly Triple H squashed it. They
Unfortunately,
but and the other thing was, I thought that that feud got messed up when they made Stephanie team up
Jericho.
with Jericho. It kind of like
It was so much better
yeah,
when they would go at
yeah,
it
yeah,
against each other.
yeah. So
So here we go at number 8, Survivor Series 2005, facing the Nature Boy Ric Flair in a last man standing match.
this was then they had their feud, after
He came back a little
Evolution.
chunky at this point. Did you notice
Yeah,
that?
yeah. I
Like
think he was off
he
the
gave,
roids, maybe
he gave
allegedly.
up working out too
He had
after
that
those three.
muscle, that handlebar mustache,
I
and
didn't like that. He took it
um,
into WrestleMania against Cena. I didn't like that.
they had because they were part of Evolution together, and
Ric
when
Flair now was a
Flair had
baby
beat him,
face.
and Flair had beat him in that
Was it the
uh
IC title match?
yeah,
I
beat
think
him.
was that Taboo Tuesday?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, and an
and
upset.
yes. I know because I mean he came back after losing all 3 matches to Batista, figuring, okay, I've got one
Yeah.
Evolution buddy left. The guy that he said it in the feud on microphone. I rejuvenated your career. You
He
were
did.
nothing
I
in
mean,
WWE until I brought you into Evolution,
it's
which is
pretty.
kind of messed up to say about Flair, but he is right.
No, but behind the scenes, Triple H really helped him out a lot and like helped him get his confidence back.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
it was
And
nice to
this
see.
match, yeah, this match didn't disappoint. And I was actually hoping that eventually these two guys would lock up against each other. You know, the icon that Flair is, the one that Triple H is becoming. And Triple H beats him in the last man standing match
And
again.
leading into this, Triple H had just been torturing him. I remember.
Yes,
Yeah.
constantly on Raw.
Mhm.
Yes. At number 7, and these two guys, this is not the first match that's in this top 10, but at number 7, No Way Out 2000 versus Cactus Jack in the Hell in a Cell versus career match, title versus career match. And man, it was hard, to bring this one lower because then I started wondering which one was better. Was it the Rumble or was it No Way Out? The Rumble to me was better also because I was there and I got to see this
Well, the
live and in person. That
Rumble's
the
iconic.
craziness they did. Yes,
It's an iconic match. Yeah.
but at No Way Out they didn't disappoint, and Triple H beats Cactus Jack, and now assuming that his career is over. Well, we all know that Linda grants him the one
I know.
WrestleMania main
Yeah.
event, that he can get.
And
And
he stinks up
all
the
the
joint, gets injured,
dude, all
stinks
these times he gets hurt. King of the Ring '98, his body's half broken. He still walks away. He gets a
yeah.
broken ribbon here. He can't
Is
continue.
was he botched? Because he botched
Oh yes,
an
the
elbow
elbow
drop.
drop on the announce table,
Yeah.
and
Took
they're
himself
they're
out.
they're Yes, and the ending of the night is ruined.
And he was supposed to get the title supposedly that night.
Yes, and then allegedly drop it the next night because he was retiring.
Uh,
But
anyway,
they were going to give him his WrestleMania moment, and then
yeah,
that's the night that you got all the McMahons running around going, "Oh shit, what do we do?
yeah,
What do we do?" You go, give it to Triple H.
right, yeah.
Luckily, that's not in the top 10. That match was horrible, in my opinion. Triple H, Rock, main event, WrestleMania. That's what it should have been that year.
Oh
And
yeah,
I've said it before.
mm-hmm.
At number 6, Survivor Series 2002, the inaugural Elimination Chamber match. Wow. And unfortunately, he did lose this one as Shawn Michaels once again whooped him as it came down to the last two, them two.
Well, I
But
mean, to be fair, this is the only time Sean beats him for the belt,
yeah,
and
and
it's his
they
only,
did
and that's Sean's only title run post.
30-day run. That's it.
Yeah, that was
It's
it.
like
So
at
I mean,
Armageddon, he loses it. I'm like, what?
and this is the night that RVD almost killed Triple H when he botched that
The trachea, the
yeah,
fart
he hit him
splash,
when he jumped off the top of
the pod.
the pod. Yeah, yeah, he didn't have enough room to clear from the ceiling of the cell.
That was unfortunate, but I mean, the match didn't disappoint. You had RVD, you had Booker, you had
Yeah. It was
Jericho.
fun.
It really was. This was something that I was very impressed with what they came up with, and they still use it to this day. Because some matches that they've come up with, they've just either shit the bed or we're not going to do this anymore. But this one's still being used as of today. But Shawn Michaels, Triple H doesn't win the inaugural one. Shawn Michaels beats him. It's all right. What are you going to do? At number 5, Judgment Day 2000. The Iron Man match where Shawn Michaels is the special guest
Hmm.
referee, Triple H versus The Rock for the title. I mean, this had everything. You had the
Yeah.
McMahons in this, you had DX. We had the return of The
Yeah.
Undertaker.
This is where they botched the ending.
Unfortunately.
It was supposed to be. I think it was. We covered this before. I think it was supposed to be a draw technically because time expired.
Yeah, and Shawn Michaels called it a DQ for the last
Right. Yeah.
fall
Yeah.
because then Triple H wins 6-5.
Right. But time had already expired.
When Sean count, yes.
Right.
We all saw the clock. Oh man, but leading up, I mean, this was an Iron Man match that they actually, I'm not taking anything away from Brett Sean where it was 1-0 in overtime, but we had this one. You actually had the falls in, and it was, I believe at one point it was 5-3,
Yeah.
and Rock
He
came back,
came back. Yeah.
and then the botch where Sean, oh, Taker hit him, oh, you're disqualified.
Yeah. The tape. Yeah. It wasn't. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't Sean's fault. It was.
No, they
It
just
was
they
just
they did it too
the
late.
clock was. Yeah. It was disaster. Yeah.
But all in all, Triple H and Rock really put on a hell of a show that night. It was really good. At number 4, and we just talked about this, WrestleMania 28 versus The Undertaker, the end of an era match where once again Shawn Michaels is the special guest
Yeah.
referee. I picked this one because the fact of it was the end of an era, the end of the Attitude Era, the end of these two guys would supposedly never face each other again. You would never have two guys like this facing each other with the credentials that they have. And it made sense to put Shawn in there because realistically, this is all because of him. You lose 2 WrestleManias to Taker. You put your career on the line. Your buddy is trying to avenge you. Doesn't get it done at 27. So he tries it at 28. Puts it all on the line in a Hell in a Cell match. Comes real damn close. The only thing I didn't like about the match was Shawn cowering in the corner.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Triple H and The Undertaker, I remember him saying, "What the hell do I have to do to you?" I mean, shy of
Yeah.
putting a tranquilizer dart in your ass, what do I have to do to beat you? But this match did not disappoint. This
I mean,
was
it was a good story, but it just they physically weren't there anymore. That was the problem for me. But
especially
I
The
am the
Undertaker.
story, but the story, was fun.
I do like the end of an era, and
Mm.
they're talking about
They're all on the
doing-
ramp at the end. They're all together.
Yeah,
on the
holding
ramp.
each other up.
Yeah.
Taker doesn't know what day of the week it is. Sean's
No.
like, "Oh shit, I screwed up again."
No.
Triple H is like, "I lost another one."
Yeah. 0-3
They are
versus
talk-
Taker.
They are talking about doing another end of an era match this coming WrestleMania
Oh, no, thank
because
you.
we're on the John Cena tour that he
Yeah.
just
Jonathan
announced, by the
farewell
way,
tour.
yesterday. He'll be in the Royal Rumble. Great. We know you're not going to win. So there's
Yeah,
29 other guys that have a shot.
yeah,
But there is talk of an end of an era
yeah,
match against Randy Orton.
yeah. Because we need to see that match again.
Well, at
But
first they were talking
anyway,
Logan Paul, and I'm like, I
yeah.
don't want to see that.
All right, well,
I really don't want to see that. So if they're also talking about, and I don't want to, veer too much off. They're also talking about him getting a title run during this so that he breaks Flair's record.
yeah,
Well, that's all well and good because Randy Orton still has 4 years left of his contract. Trust me, I think that man's getting the record. That's just my opinion. You guys let me know what you think about that. Anyway, let's get to the top three. Because these matches were the best three that I could come up with, and I don't think anybody's going to disagree with me on this. Number three, SummerSlam 2002. Triple H, Shawn Michaels, the match we waited 4.5 years for, with Shawn Michaels' injury. Not getting into it, we have before. Shawn coming out ready for a non-sanctioned street
yeah.
fight.
Street
Triple
Fighter.
H, man, you were at my house. We watched this. We even the neighbors came
Yeah.
down. We almost beat the hell out of them because they're like, lower it, kiss my ass. This is a match that we never thought we would see again, with Shawn possibly never wrestling
They had
again.
teased it, yeah. Then they had teased it before, and just for whatever reason, I don't know if it was because Sean was still hurt or Sean was just not in the right state of mind. It never happened,
Mhm.
but it finally came. It happened, and Sean came out of retirement. The buildup was good too. With the
Oh, the who
Triple
ran
H
him
was revealed,
over.
yeah. Triple H was revealed that he had attacked him in the back, and yeah,
How about when even before that when the DX reuniting because the NWO now
hmm
is dead
yeah.
and he does his spiel and then he
And he
pedigrees
pedigreed him, yeah.
Sean. Then he finds out somebody ran him over. He goes, Sean, I'm going to
Somebody
find
attacked him,
out.
yeah. That somebody attacked him.
And then he's laughing. He goes, face facts. You can't wrestle
hmm
anymore.
It's
You're done.
over,
You're
yeah.
finished.
HBK is dead, yeah,
Then Sean was like, the doctor said I'll be cleared by,
yeah.
let's say,
It's good stuff.
SummerSlam.
hmm
Once I saw that, I was like,
Yeah, it was great.
no way.
It was great, man.
It was an awesome match. It was just under 30 minutes too.
Yeah,
And
the match was great too.
I love when Sean's going off the ladder and he's just like,
Yeah.
I'm crazy. I know
Yeah.
this. I got a
The
back
only thing,
problem.
for me, and I mentioned this in the SummerSlam review. I wish Sean would have came out in his gear, his wrestling
Yes.
instead of in the jeans and the boots. I felt like it kind of it not. I mean, I'm nitpicking, but I wanted to.
Non-sanctioned street fight.
But that I know, but it shouldn't have even been that. But whatever. It was still a great match and a great story.
The best one they've had in their whole series, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
And he loses it, but still, just
Right,
the
right. It
the,
was a
the
great
build
match.
up
Yeah.
and everything they did, yeah, it was great. Number two, Royal Rumble 2000 versus Cactus Jack, the street fight.
Right. This is an epic.
Oh
Yeah.
man, this was Foley left it all out there.
hmm
Triple H just beat the holy hell out of him. I mean, this was great. The build up storyline to the McMahon Helmsley era, where Rock said, "We will all walk out if you do not rehire him," and then Mankind's like, "I can't. I'm not going to do this." Here come. Now we get the Cactus Jack persona. I mean, this was great. Just an awesome match. The Triple H does win over Cactus Jack in the title match. And our number one for Triple H, No Way Out, 2001, Three Stages of Hell versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. And the first stage was the singles match that Austin won. The street fight was number two that Triple H got. And the final stage was the steel cage match. And I was really shocked back then because with Austin coming back and getting the momentum of the Rumble, it's like, okay, you just had him lose this match to Triple H.
Still surprising.
No build. Now he's lost all his momentum and stuff towards WrestleMania. I was like, I don't understand why he didn't win the match. But in any event, Triple H gets the
hmm
2 out of 3 on these three stages. And I mean, these two guys wrestling each other back then was great.
hmm
It was just fantastic. It should have been. We said this before. The whole
Yeah.
running over Austin should have been Triple H in the car, not like for The Rock.
Yeah. And you know what? What would have made this list? I have a feeling it would have made the list if it actually happened. Triple H versus The Rock versus Stone Cold, triple threat
The
match.
Survivor Series
Yeah,
1999 match that I was
yeah,
so pissed off that we did not get,
yep. Because
and
Stone Cold
he couldn't do it
he couldn't
anymore.
do it. He needed the neck surgery. Yeah,
and they put Big Show in there. I
Yeah,
was ecstatic when they announced that
yeah.
match. I'm
I
like,
know. We
we
everybody wanted. That's what everybody wanted to see at
WrestleMania
that point.
worthy,
Yeah, yeah,
and for Survivor Series was great, and
yeah.
then we don't get it,
Right.
and Big Slow wins the belt.
It's one of the big what ifs, but
Yes, it
um,
is.
overall, great list. Guys had a, say what you want to say about him, but he's had a tremendous career.
And
And
unfortunately, he can't have that retirement match that he wants
right,
because of
because of the
his
heart,
heart issues,
the heart issue. Yeah,
unfortunately. But still a great career
yeah.
nonetheless. He'll never put himself in the Hall of Fame. That's not going to happen. I mean, he's in there DX, yeah, but as far as a person himself, he's never going to do it because then people are just going to be, oh, no, I see how this
No,
is. You got the
I'm
power, so you automatically put yourself in.
I'm pretty sure he's going to the Hall of Fame.
I
Yeah,
don't think anytime soon.
eventually.
Because a lot of people gave him the scrutiny when he took over creative, and they were like, "Oh, okay, let's see how this goes." His ego, his buddies are gonna run all over the show. No, they haven't, and he's done
Yeah.
all the talent. Well, to me, he's done them right. He's got they've gotten rid of a lot of guys right now that were Vince people, but they're also almost 50 years old. So I mean, what are you gonna do? But yeah, I don't think he's gonna put himself in the hall anytime soon. I don't think he won't do that.
All right. Well, that's our
Somebody else will have to put him in.
all right. Well, that's our list. Let us know what you think. Add your own matches if we miss any. We appreciate the comments and like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys soon.
Take care.